Right, hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm back with another match preview. This time it's Leicester City versus Swansea City in the Sky Bet Championship this Saturday, 3 p.m. kickoff away at the King Power Stadium. Yeah, so the games are coming thick and fast at this point of the season. We haven't actually got a win in our last four games, which is a bit disappointing. But as I said in my match reaction after the Middlesbrough game, I thought we played pretty well in some of those games. Probably all of them barring the Coventry one. We probably could have got more out of it. But it's going to be a tough game against Leicester. Obviously, I know they're fighting for fighting to stay up at the moment. They're currently sitting 22nd, obviously one place below, one place below the safety position. But Leicester are a good side. They've got a lot of good players. Obviously, I know they've had the point deduction, but even despite that, I did not expect them to be where they are, and I really wouldn't be surprised if they did stay up. I think they've got too much quality to go down into League One, but you never know what can happen in the Championship. But obviously, they drew to Sheffield Wednesday on the weekend. On Easter Monday, with two former Swans players scoring for either side in Yates and Ayew. But obviously, they got a late point out of that, which is obviously better than a defeat. But they'll be wanting to obviously win at home, just like we'll be wanting to win away from home. As I said, we haven't won in our last four, so obviously they've got a bit more to play for than we do. Um, we haven't really got too much to play for at this stage in the season. I do believe that if we win, we could guarantee safety. It's pretty obvious that we're not going to go down. But you never know. You never know what can happen. Obviously, as I said, it would be nice to make sure it's mathematically impossible for us to go down. As I said, you never know what can happen in the Championship, but in terms of us, we haven't really got too much to play for. But it's going to be a tough game against Leicester because they're a good team. It's probably been some years now since we've beaten them, and probably going back to the Prem days. So we don't have a great record against them, but that if there's any time to beat them, it probably would be now. But obviously, as I said, they do need to go out and get a result. So it's not going to be well, it's not going to be an easy game at all, especially when there's a team like that sort of fighting to stay up. So they're going to need all the points they can get at this stage of the season. Um, and then going on to the injury news for both sides. Then starting off for Leicester at the moment, they've currently got three players out. Um, One of them being Jordan James, obviously Wales international. He's a great player. He's still very young as well, so be a massive miss for him. He's currently out with a back injury, and they've also got Christensen out with a knee injury, and then they've also got Harry Suter out with an Achilles tendon injury. So yeah, three players out for Leicester. As for the Swans, then we've got I think three players out as well. Obviously, Zidane Nusa is nearing the end of his injury now, and Josh Key would also be out, as he has been the last couple of games, as well as Ethan Galbraith, who's set to miss the rest of the season, which is a big blow for us, but has opened up opportunities for players such as Sam Parker. But yeah, as I said, three players out for either side. And then going on to the key players then for both teams. So the first player I've gone with for Leicester is Harry Winks, obviously a player who's got a lot of experience in both the Championship and the Premier League with Spurs and Leicester. I think he's a great player, and it's mad to say that he could be playing in League One next season, because as I said, he's such a good player, and he's got a lot of experience playing in the Premier League as well. So I'll go with him. Second player I'm going to go with is Jordan Ayew, an ex-Swans player. I think he's still got it at this age. Obviously, got them the equaliser in their last game against Sheffield Wednesday. So he's still a dangerous player at his age. So I'll go with him. And the third key player I'm going to go with for them is Patson Daka. Again, another player who's got a lot of experience. Played in the Premier League for them as well. So I think I'll go with him. And as for the Swans, then if there's any Leicester fans watching this, I think these are the players you need to keep a lookout for. Firstly, Zan Vopotnik, obviously the scorer, is the league's top scorer, 20 goals in the league now, 22 in all competitions. Obviously scored two penalties against Middlesbrough, which is pretty mad really. First 17 goals and none of them were penalties, and his last three are penalties. But yeah, as I said, he'll be trying to hunt down that 25 goal mark. If he can get 5 goals in 5 games, which the way he's playing this season, I wouldn't put it past him. But I'll go with him as the first key player. Secondly, I'll go with Goncalo Franco. He's been excellent this season and last season for us, and you always know what you're going to get with Franco, so I'll go with him. And the third player I'm going to go with is Lawrence Vigouroux. He saved us, numerous times this season and last season, and I think he's one of the best keepers in the Championship, if not the best. So I'll go with him. And then in terms of the lineup, I'll go with in goals. I'll go with who I just mentioned, Vigouroux. Right back, I'll go with Sam Parker. I thought he was terrific against Middlesbrough, considering he hasn't had a lot of game time in the last couple of seasons. So I'll go with him. Left back, Josh Tymon. Two centre backs, Ben Cabango and Cameron Burgess. In the midfield, I'll go with Marco Stamenic. I'll go with Goncalo Franco, and I'd like to see Leo Volta come in because he's really struggled with game time. So I'd like to see him come in. On the wings, I'll go with Omji Sung and Melko Waddell, and up front Zan Vapotnik. So yeah, that's the team I'd like to see play. And finally, on to a score prediction. It's going to be a tough game because they're fighting for their lives. They need all the points they can get. As for us, I know we obviously haven't got too much to play for, but it would be nice to sort of mathematically confirm that that we could that we're going to stay up. So I am going to be confident. I'm going to say Leicester City 0, Swansea City 1, Zan Vapotnik to get the goal. I think not just for that reason that I just said, but also we haven't won in our last four. We need a win. It'll be a nice confidence boost, and we always seem to turn it on towards the end of the season. So I'm hoping that'll be the same case again. So yeah, 1-0 Swans and Vapotnik. But once again, a massive thank you for watching this. I will be back tomorrow with a match day. I'll be back tomorrow with a match reaction. So stay tuned and thank you for watching.